Welcome in to the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and Metcalf Trucking and Trailer Repair. Today we're visiting with Green Forest Tiger head coach Greg Tibbett. This Pigskin Preview is sponsored by First Community Bank.
All right, everybody, I'd like to welcome you in here on the Hometown Sports preseason Pigskin Preview we have here. We've got Coach Greg Tibbett here of the Green Forest Tigers. Excited to be here with him today. Talk a little bit about Tiger football and what they're looking at this upcoming season. Coach last year came off a 4-6 year into the season with back-to-back conference wins against rivals. Talk to me a little bit about kind of the pitfalls of last year, what you didn't like, and the positive things that you did like and that y'all are building on to try to move on into this year.
I think we had a huge season last year. As a coach, sometimes it's hard to accept a 4-win season as a huge season, but it's our best record we've had in 10 years, best record we've ever had in 4A football. So we're building on that. We talked about that all off season, starting to kind of bridge those gaps and starting to chase those teams in the upper echelon of the conference. And that's what we've talked about, and we feel like we're taking those steps in that direction now.
Yes, sir. 4A is tough. You got some, I know Ozark moved out, but Elkins and all these teams, and just a lot of tradition now that you're in this 4A here. Of course, this area is blowing up. You got Gravett and Gentry and Farmington. Well, is Farmington, they're 5A now? Yeah, they're 5A now. But, I won't be surprised if some of those we just named might be 5A for too long.
Yeah, for sure.
The way it's going. So talk to me a little bit about what your background is a little bit, where you came from. You told me you've been here. This is going into your fourth
Starting
season?
my fifth season.
Sorry.
Just finished my fourth. Originally from Stuttgart. Played high school football there, and for Coach George Berg back in the 90s, and grew up in Stuttgart football tradition. When I was young, we moved around a lot of coaching. I've coached in Oklahoma and Kansas, Louisiana. Spent some time as a defense coordinator over at Shiloh Christian, defensive coordinator down at Mena, and like I said, been here the last 4 years as a head coach, and just excited about our season we have coming right now.
Yes, sir. So, are you one of the coordinators with the offensive defense?
Offensive coordinator. Yes, sir.
What is y'all's offense? What do y'all run here?
We're pro spread. We kind of got out of that a little bit last year. Went to a little more under center, more split back veer, kind of old school looking football, and it really fit our running game. We have a young man, Mason Meadow, that's coming back at quarterback. He wasn't with us as the first part, came on board last year to get back in football. He's a big-time baseball recruit, but he's back at football, so it allows us to do a few more things other than be a base running team that allows us to open up our offense a little bit. So we're back to our pro spread look now.
Okay. So is he a senior?
He'll be a senior.
Okay. Nice. Talk to me a little bit about some of your returning all-conference players you had last season.
If anyone's seen us play the last few years, they know Rich Gordon Swafford. 1,200-yard rusher, big 6'2", 225-pound running back, a old school running back. He's very physical. He wants to run the ball between the tackles. Sometimes he thinks he's a dancer every once in a while, but he's a stud running the football for us.
Nice.
He was all conference last year. Brighton Gillum be an all conference returning starter at free safety. He'll be a 3-year starter at free safety for us. Just your coaching cliche at free safety. The coach on the field, very, very intelligent kid. Probably be 1 or 2 in the graduating class next year. So he's an extension of our defensive coordinator on the field and does a really good job. He rotates at receiver as well. He'll be back as an all conference returner as well.
Nice. A couple B-tone guys to work around. What are some of your areas that you kind of concerned that need to step forward? You have some younger O-line or D-line? Or
last year we had a lot of young guys that, were not necessarily all conference, but our conference does an all sophomore team. So we had a few guys that were on that all sophomore team, and those guys took some lumps as sophomores, but stood out to our coaches in our conference. So, we kind of grew a little bit with those guys last year. We have right at 52 kids on the roster moving forward, and only 9 are seniors. So that tells you still how young we are. It's the most we've ever had, here at Green Forest. Those things may change as we move forward going into the fall, but we expect a lot out of our young classes. We've had a good group of junior high teams the last few years that have won more than they've lost, and we're hoping to build on that moving into high school.
Yes, sir. That sounds exciting. 52 kids is a really good crop here in Green Forest, and your junior high program doing good in the last couple seasons. So it sounds like there's a lot that you're still young, only 9 seniors, but guys, like you said, a lot of guys on the super sophomore team took some lumps that kind of getting their feet wet and getting ready to be big time contributors now.
Yes, sir.
I would be very excited, if I was hearing that, if I was, from this community and a big time Green Forest fan. That sounds very exciting. Tell me a little bit about your defensive coordinator and what y'all like to do defensively.
We'll be changing a little bit this year. Brandon Stone has been part of this program for a long time. Coach Stone graduated from here, and he's been an assistant here for 15, 16 years. Our defensive coordinator moved on this offseason, so he's going to take over the defense.
Okay.
He's called it in junior high the last few years, so it will be changed a little bit. We'll still be an odd front defense, basically a 3-4 with some adjustments out of it, things like that. But our guys played for him in junior high as a defense coordinator, and so it's been really exciting this summer. Him being the high school defensive coordinator, and those guys running through his system, and we have a lot of guys. We have 9 starters back on defense.
Nice.
So we're expecting a lot of things. We should be better defensively this year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and some of those wins you had looked like your defensive numbers it was a pretty low scoring game, or relatively low. Some of those big wins you got at the end of the season against Berryville and Huntsville. Walk me through the Carroll County rivalry and what that means to people around here.
Man, I don't know if you can explain it unless you're here. I mean, I came in new 4 years ago, and it was COVID, so it was a weird time anyway. And I heard about the Carroll County Super Bowl, and everyone talks about it. But man, so you're a part of it. It's a different world. I mean, there's a lot of people. There's standing room only. The last few years, we have a chili cook-off wherever it's at. There'll be a chili cook-off in the end zone, whether it's here or Berryville. Both booster clubs kind of compete against each other. They get businesses in the community to sponsor a table or whatever, and it's a huge deal. I mean, it doesn't matter what the record is going in. It's a huge football game.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty neat. And it's also the last game of the season for y'all, conference game, and it's the right time for chili. So I've been to a lot of rivalry games that are non-conference, because they've moved around. And I'm from Dover, so you got Dover Atkins, and they always play like the second week of the year. And chili don't sound good at that time. But
when it's 100 outside, it's not good.
But late in the year, that sounds like a lot of fun. I was interviewing the Berryville head coach, Shermock, and he was, he's new to this as well, or newer than you even. And he was saying kind of the same thing. It is just, it's a big deal in this area to the community and to the people. Does it get a little wild a little bit? Is there ever any kind of?
It's really not. I'm sure it used to be.
Being painted on the side of roads.
Yeah, I'm sure it used to be. It's kind of calmed down, I think, now. I don't know. I wasn't a part of it, 10 or 20 years ago. But a lot of our kids hang out with their kids, and they're around each other most of the time. And so I'm sure that's a smack talking week for sure. But it's been pretty calm since I've been here as far as that part goes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, these small town, rivalries, 8 miles apart. It's always some of the best storylines and some of the coolest things that you find and hear about in these communities here in Arkansas. So I'm glad to hear about that. Tell me a little bit about what you expect this upcoming season. You came into 4-6 last year, like you said, 52 players on the team. You only got 9 seniors. What do y'all need to do to have a successful season this year at Green Forest?
I think this is the first year that there's actually expectations. Like we've talked about that with our kids. Like we're expecting something now,
Right.
Not just us, but people outside of our walls are expecting something. So that puts a little bit of pressure on you that they haven't dealt with, and we are still young. We just need more consistency. We lost a few games last year based on turnovers. So just things like that. We have to take control of the ball. Take care of the ball. We took the air out of the ball last year. You see college football TV; they're going as fast as they can. We're trying to dial it back, which was the reason for some of those lower scores they're scored. We had a West Fork game. We played West Fork in the first year. We had a 8-minute, 56-second drive. To score a touchdown. So we're more ball control, and so being able to take care of the ball in that process and fly around on defense. We want to be a playoff team. We talked about that from the time I got here. We feel like there was a huge gap from top to bottom in our conference when Shiloh was here at the time I first got here, but we wanted to chase that bottom part of the playoff contenders, and we feel like we're in the spot to do that now.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, I appreciate all the information you gave us. It sounds like things are really going in the right direction here at Green Forest. Drove around and couldn't find exactly where you were, so I kind of got to see the school grounds pretty well here. I'm impressed. I love the stadium. It's really large, really beautiful out here. Looks like you got a lot of support. There's people here that are behind you and going to year 4 here, like you said. You started out with COVID year. That's never a good thing.
Right.
I've been around some other coaches that kind of dealt with that same thing as their first year. Some are trying to change the program, and it ain't easy. So you got a guy that's still here and still working, and you're seeing that they're continually getting better every year. That's a great thing to have. But I want to appreciate your time, Coach. Greg Tibbett here with the Green Forest Tigers. This is Duran Miller signing off. Go Tigers.
Thank you.
Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.